400 hours into my Xbox 360 version, 300 hours in the Steam version, and somewhat recently 200 hours in the GOG version. This is all done in Game of the Year edition of the game, and about 380 out of 500 of those hours include in PC. That includes playing it with good amount of mods. With that being said, Fallout New Vegas is the most enjoyable Fallout for me, and I wouldn't say it does everything right, and I also think there are some specific aspects that other Fallout games does better. So with that being said, what makes Fallout New Vegas so good? Character building. This is the this is to me the best part of Fallout New Vegas. It does the role-playing aspect better and with more fun and in-depth than any other game in the series. Your character won't be able to do everything, at least not for the most of the game. So carefully choosing what you want to specialize by the way of the trait in which you can pick two from the very start. Perks that you only get once every two levels. Plenty of games make their character building either too complicated for new players or lacking in depth that doesn't feel rewarding for those who sink their teeth into it. New Vegas nails it though. Fallout 4 does have the best gunplay in the series, but the shooting of New Vegas still feels really nice. And it is especially awesome that it incorporated into the character building. As a character who invests in guns, for example, will be more accurate and deals more damage with that set type of weapons than a character that doesn't want to invest it. Not many role-playing games do the shooting aspect, but I like that the gun here feels satisfying, heavy, and impactful. Sniper rifles tilt a bit even if you meet its requirement, so you must be patient. Minigame like actual sniper. Exclusives do more the closer the grenade to the blast zone is, so aim them properly and much more. Compact and meaningful item placements. Be it sunset sarsaparilla scattered everywhere, you have a decent amount of healing, or the skill magazines layered in places where you would need them the most. Weapons of all playstyles will scatter around the wasteland for you to find, or a variety of merchants that will fulfill the needs of your playstyle. New Vegas area may be bit compacted, but I like that everything around you close for the play to pick and potentially make a small detour for that specific weapon that fits your character. Examples would be Novak, where you get yourself that gun from the dino shop, or close by the Novak test site, where you can pick a lot of weapon and ammo for all your energy weapon needs. Open world games can be feel overwhelming with how much space they give you, and it can be both hard and tedious to find anything. Fortunately, New Vegas keep it simple and efficient for everyone. There are some issues that Fallout 3 had that were fixed in this game. I don't hate Fallout 3 or any game in the series. They all have their ups and downs. I think there are things that Fallout 3 does better when it comes to location, atmosphere, and quest, but I will come back to it later. For now, the things that New Vegas improves from Fallout 3 are the iron sight for guns, repairing items to max efficiency. Your repair skill only affects how much weapons slash armor gets repaired instead of restricting those higher percentage to your repair skills. I prefer this system. Skill checks are no longer percentage based. You either fulfill the requirement or you don't. rewarding and punishing for you for your choice in character building. While speech and barter will take the most of the checks, it's nice to see other skills and special stats also being taken into account. VATs no longer make you invincible. Now I don't do VATs at all in either of those games, but I like it when you cannot cheese through your game with it. Energy weapons and explosives are much more open from the start of the New Vegas. Through Doc Mitchell, you start off naming yourself, picking up your special stats, choosing your specialized traits, skills to tag. He then gives you your Pip-Boy and you can choose to play a hardcore or normal mode. You are good to go. Simple but quick character creation without having to go through some tutorial section for it. Of course, you can make a save before you leave the vault to change your character or make important choices like killing the overseer in Fallout 3 to get a different game quest. But it is nice that New Vegas provides me with something quick and easy. Crafting items for ammo. I personally like this and miss the weapon crafting schematics in Fallout 3. It's a slight shame that they are not in New Vegas. What I'm here to talk about instead is ability to craft ammo. Break down ammunitions from your gun into materials and make new ones. It won't stop there. Recycle your drained energy cells and convert cells from one type to another. In all seriousness, this is an awesome but simple crafting system that makes gunplay even better. Faction system. It is not the most advanced faction system that an RPG can have, but I'm glad it is here. And you can change your reputation with these groups if you disguise yourself as one of the members. Damage threshold. Not every weapon and not every armor is built equal, and I like it when you must select the right weapon and ammo types to penetrate through their defenses. Just adds more depth to the game in a nice fashion. Vaults. I know many people hate them, but they are some of the best places in the game to explore, and that feels satisfying from the gameplay perspective to do so. One is overfilled with mantises and looking out deadly booby traps, and at the end awaits you a happy go and deadly Vault-Tec traps. Another one is a completely irradiated and its inhabitant turns into feral ghoul. Navigate through it, unlocking paths by draining the water, and at the end it's an armory with lots of goodies for your gun characters. It's like a dungeon. Now my issues with New Vegas. Look, I get it. The game is rushed and there's much more that Obsidian wanted to do. But still, they had 18 months to put something together. Majora's Mask and Warcraft 3 The Frozen Time are all games with short developmental cycle which also reused the same engine and resources from the previous game. And they are amazing, better than their previous counterparts. New Vegas did manage to do so by turning Fallout 3 back into a proper RPG, and it did so amazingly. But at least for me, it does certain things worse in comparison in Fallout 3 and on its own. Quest. Honestly, questing in Fallout New Vegas is very boring. Other than the initial town shooting in Goodspring, the various plot lines that happens with Veronica if she stays or leaves the Brotherhood and the DLC, everything here is just so lacking. In Fallout 3, you have a survival guide which has you going into different locations to complete specific tasks that differ from your usual gameplay routine. The power of atom, where you can disarm the bomb in Megaton or blow it completely change the landscape. Doing so also open a farm another quest involving ghouls who want to live in Timpani Tower, or how the simulation you enter either must rescue your dad in the main quest, you don't have your gear, you must find it to shut it down, or kill everyone you told to and gain evil karma in the process. New Vegas doesn't have much of this type of content to shake things up. Don't get me wrong, blowing up nukes in Lonesome Road with laser detonator or but like most of the activities in this game are bland as hell. Even with the time constraint, I really think they could have done better than this. Locations. This really ties to the point above. Now, I am those few people who actually does enjoy vaults in New Vegas and what the other gameplay offers. What about the rest of the zones in the map? Well, they are for the most of the quest game very bland. I appreciated that everything is reasonably accessible and close by for anyone to pick up the game and play it. But most zones and other locations in these games that aren't faults, the Lucky 38 or the DLC map, are not that much interesting to explore. I am more forgiving of this subject, and regarding Obsidian being rushed with the game, being able to create new areas is exhausting and time consuming, especially if you want to make them high quality. Nonetheless, I still think New Vegas does could have done better in this regard. Majora's Mask is less time created better dungeons and memorable quests than those in Ocarina. The Frozen Throne gave us amazing campaign with fun and varied location, much more enjoyable than those of the Reign of Chaos. I play New Vegas always on very hard or hardcore mode. Why? Because otherwise the game is like too easy. Like figure out how to build a character isn't all that too hard. And once you do, either partially or completely, you break the game apart by just playing it normally. The tougher enemies such as legions and NCR death squads, Brotherhood Paladin, Death Claws, and to some extent large Cazadors are all good walls against early game unequipped character. But really, getting good equipment or have right specialization points for your character are all mostly trivial. And once you get stronger and continue to get stronger, I really don't feel like the game keeps you well. Most of the fighting stops being engaging. New Vegas's overall combat isn't the most engaging, and when it is, it doesn't last very long. Your character isn't very mobile, like no dashes or rolls. Doesn't have the cool stuff of the likes of Secondary Fire. Trying out specific challenges like beating the game with one and two weapons doesn't really feel as rewarding and more than anything feels like a chore. The most fun I have personally out of it is efficiently built and my improved gun equipment all come together to stomp through enemies as hard as possible. Every game in the Fallout series has its issues when it comes to gameplay. Things I said here about New Vegas are very much applied to Fallout 3, and older games Fallout 1 and 2 are just so messy. You either struggle with battles or hard storm them depending on whether you want to break the game or not. And even if you do hope you enjoy getting randomly critted to your death, sorry, those old games are just not my type to experience for their gameplay. I really want to tie my 3 points above with this. I am never going to stop praising how good the character building is in this game and role playing possibilities it offers with each character. Now, it takes a while for your characters to reach full circle with all of its skills, equipments, and especially your perks, since majority of them are tied to certain level. So what do I do to progress? I don't want to do most of the quests that the game offers. I don't find things I do for very interesting unless it's related to fighting. Like the quest where you have to turn in the head of three dangerous fiend members. It's a small walk with easy experience and ammo. Most of the places that I have possibility of visiting are lacking, and I only go out of my way either because they have an weapon that my character needs or its fast XP booster. While the shooting is enjoyable, it's not very hard to trivialize most of the combats early. As I as I slowly walk my way up to the power spikes, the game becomes even easier. I bring all this up summarized because whenever I want to start out a new character in the game, be it something newish or redo my older characters with even more perfection, I can only help but think how much of a chore it is to get through my planned out character. And also, just wondering what is left of the game can be challenging and engaging once I reach those points. It is annoying because New Vegas does such a good job at being a proper RPG and one that can anyone can enjoy without being overwhelmed by sea of number of absurd game mechanics. And yet most of the journey can feel dull and the arrival towards the destination that is your character is both satisfying and empty. That's it for today's video. This is the part 1 of Fallout New Vegas review. In the next part, I will be talking about the various factions and their mechanics and difficulty in and progression of the RPG mechanics.